What is up, my young talented ones? It's your girl Dawn. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to react to He Took Advantage of Me, First College Party Gone Wrong, featuring Kurt Ritchie. Gonna jack somebody. I feel it coming. But before we get into this video, guys, make sure you comment, subscribe, and share. If you're new to the channel, give us my goal 500. Get me up to my goal of 600 down below. My Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, and it'll be right here. Also, subscribe to my vlog channel, which is YTL Vlogs, will also be right here. And comment down below what other videos you would like to see from me. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
What the hell? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
College parties. When we think of college parties, at least here in the US, we think of a bunch of juice, grass, candy, and sometimes getting it on with the people you just met. It's a wild and unpredictable environment, but you think you'll be fine because you're smart, have heard of all the stories and warnings, and nothing can go wrong when you're aware of all that, right? That was my mentality, that all those dangerous things I heard about could never happen to me because I thought I knew the science and knew what not to do and who to avoid. But unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way that things can go wrong regardless of how prepared you think you really are, and how effed up it is that victims have to suffer because of a society that has developed and normalized this toxic mentality towards speaking up about consent and assault. When I was a freshman in college, I decided to join my school's Filipino club. I was really excited to join this club in college, experience the college life, and make new friends, especially fellow Asian friends, since the high school I went to rarely had any people of color. So my dorm roommate at the time, we'll call her Morta, joined this club with me, and we ended up being pretty active, attending almost every social event and club meeting, even winning an award for being so down and full of spirit for club events. However, little did we know, one of these events would end up being one of our worst college memories. In the beginning of every semester, the club would host its welcome back party. This was a time for everyone to start off the year by basically getting trashed at a party. Now, I wasn't exactly the partying type at the time, and neither was Morta, but we both also kind of just had this I'll go if you go attitude about everything, and we kind of just decided to go for the experience since neither of us have ever been to a party before, and we said we'd stick together the entire time, so we thought we were being completely safe, especially since we were both aware of the dangers that can happen at parties, and we're taking this precaution. So it's the night of this party, and it's a stoplight themed party. No, not like that. What I mean is that people at this party would wear colors of a traffic light to signal to others of their relationship status and their intentions.
We had this, I think, we had like it was like a party, but it was something like at our skating rink and where I live at, and it was like, you wear this color, it means you're single. If you wear this color, it means you're taken. You wear this color, it's complicated. So like, it will be like, okay, I know that yellow would be for complicated, and I think green would be you're taken, and no, green would be you're single, and red would be that you're taken. And I remember we had that. They had it at a skating rink around, I think, what grade was I in? I know that at the time I wore, my friends, they wanted me to go, so I had went, just to let you guys know. I think I wore a yellow, or no, okay, backtrack. They will give you wristbands of what color you said that you wanted to get. You wouldn't wear, like, some people wore whatever. I just wore regular clothes, and they'll give you like a wristband. You pick the wristband that you are, and like, people just have to look at your wrist to see whatever. But I know mine was complicated. I know that for a fact it was complicated because yeah, at that time, I know I wasn't in high school because I did not know how to drive. I'm trying to think, was it middle school? I don't think it was middle school. And we didn't even get into it only because it was like a super, like, it was like a really long line, and then a fight broke out inside of there. It was like skates flying and everything else. Was like, yeah, I'm gonna go home. So yeah, but
at this party. Red meant taken, yellow meant single, but not sure
okay,
if
I had it right.
to mingle. Green meant yes, let's get it, let's do it. And black meant touch me and you die. Morta wore black because, well, she's smart, but I wore yellow because my naive thought process was that it wouldn't hurt to be honest that I am single and wasn't sure if I wanted to mingle, even though I knew I did not want to mingle like that at this party. I should have just wore black. So Morta and I get to this party and we immediately felt super overwhelmed. We were mentally and emotionally babies at the time, so being in such an overstimulating environment with everyone acting so wild and being surrounded with a strong smell of grass and cheese, we really didn't know what to do. So we just sat in a chair by the pool, low-key kind of regretting our choices. But eventually, we somehow ended up opening up and talking to other people, trying to make friends. But of course, still sticking together. And it was around this time where I became introduced to a certain older member of the club who I won't name and I won't even bother drawing, so we'll just refer to him using Bubble Bass from SpongeBob, I don't know, and we'll call him Fugly. So in the beginning, I thought Fugly was a cool guy. He was an older member surrounded by really cool people with a really good energy, and he gave off these older brother vibes as he kept saying really nice things like,
Hey, you're pretty chill. You know what? I got you. I'm gonna take care of you and make sure you have a good time tonight, alright?
Yes, girl, take a shot with me.
Oh, you drinking tonight?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm down to drink.
Alright. Then make sure you finish this.
Yes, he gave me a drink. Yes, I took the drink. Yes, I know you're not supposed to take drinks from strangers even if you think you trust them. I was blind.
And you just met the boy. Red flag right there.
Excited at the time, and I got carried away with the party atmosphere and friendly vibes, and I thought I could tell between someone who was being genuinely kind and someone trying to take advantage of me or get me intoxicated with ulterior motives. But at this moment, I couldn't sense any red flags. I also saw him get the drink for me, and he gave it to me in front of a lot of people, so I really didn't think I was in danger. I also figured I would be safe because Morta and I were together. We knew we were staying together, so I felt safe knowing that if someone was trying to do something to me, no one would be able to do anything because Morta and I were sticking together the entire time. And what kind of creep would try to do anything to me while my friend was with me, right? Right. Unfortunately, the good vibes were cut short because the cops showed up and the party had to be put on hold while they talked to the club leaders and house owner. So it got dead silent at this party for a while, and at this point, Morta and I were getting pretty anxious because we've never experienced anything like this before, and we didn't know that cops showing up to parties like this was actually a pretty common thing for almost any college party here. So we were scared. Fugly came up to us during this period, and this is where things started getting really sus.
The cops are here, and we need to hide you.
What? What's happening? Are we gonna be okay?
Oh, yeah, everything's gonna be okay. But let's take you over here, though, so that the cops don't see you like this.
He was basically insinuating that it was dangerous for me to be out in the open since I was intoxicated and underage, which could get me in trouble, as if there weren't like 50 other people like that here. So as Fugly led Morta and I to this dark, deserted corner of the yard away from everyone else, things started getting even more weird. Fugly told me to lean against the wall, and he started becoming unusually and unnecessarily overbearing.
Hey, lean on the wall. Look at me. You're really drunk. Look at me. Look up. Look at me. Look at me. Close your eyes.
I'm sorry, but I'm getting heated.
In situations like these, a lot of people are so quick to question, why didn't you just push him off? Why didn't you just tell him no? Why did you listen to him and close your eyes? This victim-blaming mentality is part of the reason why it's so hard for people to speak up. In this situation, I felt like I had no control. I was scared of getting in trouble with the cops. I was afraid of causing a scene. And I was in denial and shock that this guy who I felt like I could trust was actually doing something like this, while I was still holding hands with Morta. When an announcement was made that the cops were finally gone and Fugly...
Morta! Morta! Where? Did you not see? You were right there. You could have stopped. Morta, focus! Focus!
Finally pulled away, I couldn't even process or react to what he had just done. I just remember completely dissociating and only mustering enough energy and courage to squeeze Morta's hand really, really hard, as if some internal scream for help. And when she asked if I was okay, I did what any other person would do when someone asks if you're okay and you're not okay. I cried. A lot.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you...
Bro, what the hell? What are you doing? She didn't come here for that.
So I left that party crying from disgust, shame, shock, embarrassment. But in the end, I was thankful to the friends that were there to comfort and support me in that moment. Shout out to you guys. And I was able to go home safely. The next morning, I got a message from a girl in the club who was closely acquainted with Fugly.
Hey hun, just wanted to make sure you were okay. I heard what happened last night and I am so sorry that happened to you. That was definitely not okay. Ugly feels extremely bad about it and wants to apologize but hasn't reached out personally because he didn't want to come off as insensitive.
She began trying to get me to meet up with him so he could apologize, but she started telling me things like his actions were definitely not okay, but he was drunk. And that doesn't excuse his actions, but he's genuinely a good guy. And he usually handles his shit, but he didn't last night. Like, right, he usually handles his shit, but just so happens that last night he didn't. And accidentally led me to a dark corner to take advantage of me. Like,
yeah.
Right. But I was too afraid to meet up because her messages made it seem like she already believed this narrative that he made up of him being drunk and not having full control over his actions. And it felt like he had more influence in this club than I did, since I was just a freshman who had only been around the club for not even 1 month and didn't know him well enough to make huge accusations like this. And I felt that even if I did speak up about my feelings of doubt that he was even drunk in the first place, which I'm pretty sure he wasn't, and Morta also thinks he wasn't, people would still turn a blind eye and believe it was unintentional out of fear for themselves from starting drama with this dude. I don't know, but Fugly, if for some reason you find this video, I just want to tell you...
Okay, I'm gonna say something very bold here. Consent is extremely important. Thank you. Where's my Nobel Peace Prize? But seriously, it goes without being said.
True.
Consent is important. But the ironic thing is consent also goes without being said. And people miss that. Think of it like this. Maybe someone at a party might just awkwardly go on with what's happening. But that isn't consent. Context says they might just be rolling with the vibes. Not that I'm talking about anyone specific, you know what I'm saying? Anyone might be drunk, like, and passively agreeing with something, but that isn't consent. Context says they barely know who they are right now, let alone what they're agreeing to. Again, no one in particular I'm talking about, you know, no one in particular. Or someone new to a club might be attending a welcome back traffic light themed party where they get harassed by a well-respected member and just have to roll with it because both of their respective statuses, until the well-respected member pushes things a little too far and the new member starts to break down crying. Again, not talking about anyone in particular. Honobread, I'm talking about Honobread. If it's not obvious by now, consent is contextual, and being able to see when context is needed and call it out, whether it's happening to you or a friend, is extremely critical. Things like this that happened to her shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't, but they do. And people take advantage of context. So the best thing to do is call it out when you see it and know that context is always a part of consent.
So you guys, I'm gonna end it right here because it's nothing much left. It's just talking about consent and what is not consent and all of that. But yeah, consent is key. And don't, like, if you're gonna go to a college party, get something to shank somebody, because you're gonna have to. People be really trying. But without further ado, that's the end of the video, guys. I don't know what I was saying at first, but that's the end of the video. If you like this video, make sure you guys comment, subscribe, and share. If you're new to the channel, get to goal 600. Down below my Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, and it'll be right here. And subscribe to my vlog channel, which is YTL Vlogs, also be right here. And I'll see you beautiful townspeople next time. Peace.